Hello YouTubers, just getting into more stuff. You know that I think the switch went bad because that light indicates when there's power going to the switch or power going to the beyond the switch. And so I had that on there because every now and then I'd stall, log out, or run out of gas, and I'd leave the switch on and walk away. I don't know. It was a seemed to be a constant problem that maybe as I got older I didn't do it as much, but I was all the time had a dead battery. So anyhow, what I got to do is take this whole panel off. I got no idea what it's going to take to get this panel off. And while I'm in there, I might look at changing that switch too, because I know that switch is bad. This is only 50 years old, so I don't know what the problem was. I don't know. I think I'm going to start by taking this off and kind of, I got no idea what I'm doing. These are all hard lined in, so you're not going to pull it forward, so you got to go back. So this has got to get, this thing here's air cleaner's got to get out of the way. I got a few parts laid out here to play with. I got my radio when I'm down here, play with the radio. Got a bucket to put all the parts, because once I got into all this, if I don't have the switch, which is probably a pretty standard switch, this one might not be, so and I have one like it up at the house. It's got two little clips on it, as I recall, that you push in and it pulls out. And I keep spare parts around, but I don't think I have that particular one. And I don't even know that I have this one. I won't know until I get it apart. Anyhow, so you guys are just gonna, I guess I'm gonna jabber along and you're gonna watch me do something that this is about as close as I can get you. Which I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that work on these things that are going, oh, you did this wrong or you did that wrong. And that very well might be. Got no idea, but I want to have a lot of room. These things I usually keep loose, so I'll get that out of the way. I meant to bring a couple. I forgot what I'm thinking of. I keep all those I made. These are a nice Donaldson muffler. I guess I ought to write down the number before it fades away. It used to have those little round mufflers like that, and that was just too noisy. This old bench makes a pretty good seat here. So we'll start with this. Yeah, I meant to bring a some aluminum foil down there and make some aluminum foil plugs. It needs a new air cleaner, but I don't know if it's going to get that one today. We will pull the choke on. It's got a screen down in there, so you shouldn't lose those screws, or the screws shouldn't go down in there anyway. I'm just trying to make room to see what I got going on back there. I know it's tight. I got wires that go down to the fuel pump. I got wires that go to this little light, but I just don't know exactly what I got to do to get to it. Out of warranty, I guess, at 50 years. That switch. Oh, see, one of those bolts one of those screws just fell down in there. But like I said, there's a screen right there, so that's a good thing. We'll just set it over the parts department. Looking down in there, everything looks fine. I could probably take this, it's probably a PVC system on it off. It'd probably make it easier. Let's see, switch doesn't look too hateful, but also doesn't look too nice. Yeah, I think it'd be easier if I take those off, take the choke wire off, except for the choke wire. The choke wire no, that's the accelerator. It'd be nicer if I took that off, but I don't think I'm going to. I didn't bring pliers. It'd be easier if this line here comes off. Boy, these are some crappy pliers. I buy cheap stuff and keep in the back of the Kubota because it falls out all the time. You'd be driving down the road and lose half your tools. So if you buy cheap stuff up at Carlisle for nothing, I think it's a PVC line. I got a rag over here. Maybe we'll even clean it up. You might not even be in the screen now. I don't know exactly where the screen is. Those should probably have hose clamps on them. This thing is stiff as a, definitely on Viagra. Let's see. These are the wires going down the starter. They look good. That good. Okay, that's the hot lead down the starter. I already disconnected the battery. I forgot to tell you that. This goes up to the coil. You know, that's not going to be exactly the nicest thing in the world to change. These wires here, that's the charging system wires, and that goes, well, the switch is there. Let's see, what do we got here? That's the choke. There ain't no easy way to get to where I want to get to. I think I'm going to undo the bolt at the front. Sometimes those are crazy. That might be the easiest thing to get there. And if I can just change that switch with doing that, pulling it out, unscrewing the wires, then this might be at a later date, because that's buried down in there, and it's only 50 years old. I'm sure I can get another year out of it. And it would be a lot easier. Once I get this switch out, it might not be too bad to, let's see, this can come up through here. That stupid thing there is getting in my way. Let's see, that's going over there. It's some tight stuff in here, guys, but it's not hateful. Of course, I brought my little baby screwdriver. I can't see it. Of course, it's probably so corroded, and I didn't put any joy juice on it. No, it came undone. You know, that's old stuff always comes undone, doesn't it? How do you figure that? Of course, I guess I got to take that all the way off. And because I'm not real good at remembering where things go, we will paint them before they come off. So I'm going to have to take a station brake and get some paint. I'm kind of squeezed in here, and I'll bring you around in a second to let you see the mess. But it's not hateful if I can find a single pole, single throw switch. Won't be too bad. Oh, I got my marker paint. I mark things up because I'm not real good at remembering anymore. And I draw it on a piece of paper, but I lose a piece of paper too. I'm hoping you're here. I guess you can't really see back there. Maybe I'll take you off that stand for a minute. I think maybe I can set you, might be able to set you right there, and you might be able to see it. It's not hateful. There are no electronics, that's for sure. This goes down the starter. That's the starter button switch. I guess it's bringing juice up from the starter and going back down. Then this comes out here and goes into this hoodoogie voltage regulator. I guess you're seeing that. I got the camera facing in. This is the switch that I'm working on here. So we're going to put you here, maybe over here. I guess I got to get back to, I got to crawl all the way around to see if you guys are in the camera. Of course, I can't get out of here. Takes a lot longer doing stuff cameraing, but let's see what we got here. Well, you guys can kind of see it. Not too well, but well enough, I guess. Then I'll flip it back over the other side for a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's going to take me longer probably to find a switch than it is to do anything else. Let me see if we got some marker coming out. Nah. These little paint things, I'll tell you what, they're handy, 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 handy. So we'll mark this one here. That goes on one pole, and this one here is the one that goes on the other pole. And normally I would let them dry because I have to. Come on, push in. Won't push in on that rubber, it just gliding off. I mean, I got it pretty well marked. Alright, that's marked enough. The yellow one is the yellow one. Doesn't really matter whether they go on the top or the bottom, I don't believe. Come in here with my nice little, I think it's a Klein screwdriver. Of course, now you can't see anything on that side, can you? You know something, we might be leaving this in here, guys. That little screw was loose. I think we might be leaving this switch in. That screw was loose. I'll take it out. Of course, I'll probably drop it. I shouldn't take it out. I know better than this. Put a cleanup towel underneath of it so when I drop it, it won't go down, because it's going to go right down into that engine, I guarantee you. I had to been in here when I put this on. I redid the wires. Of course, I could take the switch out and take it up and test it. That would be a smart thing to do. You know, believe it or not, I can't see too well down in there. Well, that screws out. Oh man, I didn't even have to take it out. Those got, I guess when no, that's factory. No, that's redone. I don't know, can you see that's got those, it's got a Y thing in it with a little hooks on the top. Now I don't know whether you're getting back on there or not, so I have to set you up there because I ain't climbing out and I'm going all the way around. Oh, this stupid cord. But I guess maybe I'll go up and test the switch. But that one screw was just a hair loose, and that's probably all it would take to lose connection. I mean, it wasn't. Those are regular screws. Now if I can get that switch out. Yeah, just take that switch out. Brought the wife down to show her the canopy and says, "Is that all you've been doing all day, is putting that canopy up?" Now, that switch looks pretty ornery. Got a lot of corrosion on it, but I don't know where the corrosion's coming from. That's a green copper color corrosion. But here where those wires go on, that's not real clean. That's got kind of a copper. I think I'm gonna clean this thing up and put it back in and give it a try, because you guys know I'm tight, except for I don't have any sandpaper or anything here to grind it with down. Well, I might have something in the back of Kibodo. I got just about everything you can imagine in there. I could probably just scrape it with a knife. I don't know what the wires probably need. They need some emery cloth, and emery cloth I don't think is something that I got in there. I can't get out of here. We'll take you over there and show you the abundance of garbage that I have in this thing, just because we're doing video. We're up to 14 minutes. Yeah, what'd you do today? I put that tent thing up. That's all you did all day long, is put that tent up? Of course, she forgot to say that I did a bunch of her honeydew stuff, getting ready for that outing. Usually that kind of stuff, I got steel wool. Oh, here's a brass brush. Here's a steel brush. That might get it enough. Are you in there? I don't know if you can see. The one that was loose was this one right here. And you can see it's just not real clean. It's clean now. I hope that's all it was, but you can't justify all the crud on the outside of it here. I can justify some of the dirt. But yeah, it's got some weird green crud on it. Well, if the front end clean, the back's clean. That's the steel brush. I don't think this steel wool is coarse enough to do anything. I can't get it to clean up, but I don't have any sandpaper back here. Sometimes I have sandpaper. I think it's in there at the Jeep because I was working on that Jeep, doing some of that Jeep stuff. But that'll make connection there. So I'll take this and the wire brush and the brass brush, and we're going back over yonder and we're going to put it back together. And I might try to do a wood splitting video and watch how it does. You know, I might be able to take you around to the back door. We're going around the back door. Tent sure works nice, or the tarp or whatever. You can, I'm working under tarp it, but the more the tarp comes in, the shadier it gets. I guess that's where I'm at. We'll try to zoom you in. I would have taken the other muffler off, but that one got tight on me. So that's kind of where we're working at. Now maybe I can get you over here. Nah, my trash bin's in the way. I got a cloth in there to keep those screws from falling down into the motor. So what I'm going to do is clean those wires off and put it back together. It might have been operator error from the last time that caused the issue. In other words, me. You can't see this towel. I got a towel down here so I don't just totally lose the screws. Let me look at these wires. Well, they don't look that bad, but they'll look a lot better clean. Because I don't know whether I got one of those switches up at the house, and that would take another 15 minutes. I mean, I know where they're out. I got the whole box of used switches out, but and while we're down here, we'll clean these little ones up too. They're not really too bad. Boy, it's going to be a bear putting those wires back on there, though, I can tell you that. It's kind of hard to even get in there to get the back. I don't think you're on the camera what I'm doing. Alright, that takes care of there. Now we'll clean up these little screws too. I don't know if you can see them. I still have a chance to drop them. They look a lot better. Don't know if it'll work, but I didn't like it backfiring. That's not a good thing. Like oops, dropped one screw, but I found it. This thing's got, I think it's got aluminum heads on it, I would imagine. And this is the same motors I got on the slab saw in the back. I got 880 some videos on, and if you like the sawmilling ones, the sawmill ones have been on for a long time. You could go back and visit some of those old sawmill videos if you don't really care for the wood splitting videos, which, you know, I can understand. It's kind of like Groundhog Day around here, or Groundhog Year. You know, through the winter you do wood splitting. You saw wood basically when you need it. I haven't got that pine wood out of here yet, which I'd like to get it out of here. Well, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. How I'm ever going to get these screws in there, I got no idea. I'll probably end up having to take this thing. Whew. Man, you just can't see the mumbo jumbo it's going to take to get this in. I just see losing these. You can't see it on the video. I don't know how to get you over here for it. And even if you could, I got my towel down so nothing's gonna fall in anything. I should be able to recoup my screw. We're gonna get this wire here out of the way. Get that wire totally out of the way, I think. Get this wire totally out of the way. Those go to the top. I see no possible way of getting this on. I really don't. No possible way. My hand don't fit like that. Well, that's got a pretty good angle on it now if I can get the two wires in there. Nope, then the switch went bonkers. This is a three-handed switch operation, I do believe. And I don't have a third hand. It never shows up. Of course, then the wind just blew. My little pile of screws, just about lost them over there with the wind. This is where you go to edit. And now the switches drop way down in there where you can't get it from this way. You can only get it with needle nose pliers. That's how tight it is down in here. Somehow I will finagle this. I got it closer looking. I think the wires are lined up because they line up just because of their memory of where they were, which is pretty good, but the switch is a long way from the memory. There I got the two. I wish I could bring you guys along. Woo! And this comes up at an angle. I don't know whether you can see that or not. So this goes in this way. This got to come up at an angle. So I got to bring it up like this to screw it in, and it don't want to do that. I don't know. I got it pretty daggone close. Ah! Well, like a dummy, I didn't put the other screw on first. But I ain't losing what I got. If I could just turn the screw now. Man, I got it started. I think I'm gonna go play the lottery tonight. Now, before I get too much further along, I'm gonna start this other screw. That one's not too bad. See, I can start that without the wires on there. I think. I'm having a hard time with this one too. I got it started. Alright, I'm alright with that. That has those little clip things on there. So now if I get this bottom one screwed in, which I can turn the switch upside down. Alright, I don't think this bigger screwdriver, I'd like to get as much torque as possible on it, but I don't think that'll go in. Yeah, it went into the groove. That is as tight as I can get it. Now I have to put these two Hummers. This has got to go this way, and it's got to go underneath there. I almost put it in the wrong spot. That goes in there. That goes in there. Come on, get in there. I got to back that screw out a little bit. Don't know how much time you've been watch paint dry. But this is why I don't bring you guys along on a lot of the stuff, because it's just kind of slow and tedious. I don't know how to explain this mess. Got that on. First we'll start it with a nice easy going screw driver. But you know, my eyes ain't focusing on it right today. There, we're going in there. That's a screw that was loose. Now we're going to go put the big bruiser to it. Nah, it won't go underneath there. I got to pull it up some. Oh, that's as tight as I can get it. We can pull my catch towel out of the way. Now we'll put the switch back down in place. Moving this over here. This got to go down through here. I don't know why that hadn't vibrated and shorted out, to be honest with you. Because it goes through a bunch of nasty stuff down here. There's one end. The other one can stay out of there. Go on, switch, get in there. I'm alright with that. Now we'll put the on and off on there, because who knows, maybe someday I'll have to look at that. Now we'll put the little screw back on. And I still don't know that the switch is right. It's good. But I'm hoping it is. These little switch screws are hard to get on straight. I think it is, because I'm getting it on finger tight. That goes back and forth that way. This goes this way. That's nice and tight. I'm going to, well, I guess I'll see how much time you guys got left on the clock. I'm gonna hook the battery back up. If I get out of here, it wasn't meant for, the leg is stuck. It doesn't come out like that, guys. You'll realize that when you get a little older, that stuff doesn't move the way it used to. I'll put that battery cable on, see where you guys are at. I blew this wood splitter all off. What kind of time we got? I only got 20.